it's William from ZeroClick. Welcome to the second episode of Building Public at ZeroClick. In this video, we'll tackle four things. First, what we're trying to solve. Second, the visual we just released. Third, what we'll do next. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about our learnings in this area. So how to be in the LLMs. So stay at the end of the video, and I think you will learn some things we discover using our tool. First, what are we trying to solve? The question we are trying to answer is, are LLMs mentioning my brand? What LLM think about my brand? So how we will tackle that? We think a lot about the different things that a brand want to know when they want to make a brand analysis, the sentiment about what the brand look like for people. Today, you don't ask people because people ask an LLM, so you want the answer from the LLM because this will be what the brand look like for consumers. So what we did is three parts. First, the pros and cons of the company. Second, the competitors with their advantages and their disadvantages. And third, the prompts used to make this report. So today we're a little bit confused about if we created an analysis tool or a benchmark tool. So this is a little bit between the two. So we'll see if this solve a real pain. So here one of our reports. So for example, we took atio.com, a CRM, and for atio.com, we have the pros and cons. So for example, we have the modern UI, and for every pro and con, you have the prompt reference. So this is the prompt used, the quote in the prompt, and the website linked to this quote. And this is very important. Is that when there is a pro or con of your company, and you're like, oh, this is not at all what my company should be seen. So this is not the thing we want. And so you know which source is telling you that, and you can change. You can reach out to the website and say, okay, you said the thing like this, but this is not real like this. So can you change that, etc.? Because I don't know, it's outdated information or things like that. So for example, I have API limitation, and this is linked to G2. So maybe it's one comment on G2 that told you that. And this is very important to reach out to the person that did the comment, because this will be used by LLMs to give them content. Second, you have the competitors parts. So for example, we have Breakcold, which is fairly new CRM, and you can see that there are advantages and disadvantages. We limit ourselves to 3 advantages and disadvantages. So here we have the social media integration. So you see Breakcold is better for LinkedIn and Twitter integration. The automation and phase outreach is better for outreach. Maybe Atio is not really good about it, or it's not. And this is where, for a company like Atio, you have to reach out to affinity.co and see what they are saying about your company. And third, you have the disadvantages, and you see that the UI and the UX is very better about Atio than Breakcold. Then we have the third part, so the prompt results, and you have every prompt we use. We use 25 prompts in this thing, but later we want to provide maybe 100, 1000 prompts to see what happens, and especially in the in different time in different time frames. So you know what the LMs think about my brain right now and in 10 days. And the second part is the statistic to give a more real report, because today we only use one prompt result per prompt. But actually, you can make 10 times a prompt because of the temperature and because LLMs are not deterministic, and you can have 10 different answers. So, fortunately, it's almost the same, but when you ask for competitors, you will have like real different opinions, based on the non-deterministic way of how LLMs are built. And it's very different than how Google proceed, because if you make 10 times the query in Google, you have 10 times the same result. So this is a really interesting part for us. What are the next steps? We have two things to do. We have to share this to the more people we can, and especially content marketing people in companies and SEO agency, to understand two things. First, if this answers our question, so what LLMs say about my brand. And second, to understand if they are willing to pay for this report, and if not, why. And so we can improve the reports to be more, to have more impact for their analysis. We added two more things. This is the feedback button, which is a button to join the Slack community. So we created a Slack community to gather all the feedback and to bring people to make a conversation with us, because we really want to deeply understand what people will think about it. And then the share report, because all the reports we made are public, so you can use this link and send it to other people. If you want your analysis for your brand, don't hesitate to reach out on the Slack channel, and we are happily create a report for you. Today we have no end user interface, because we want to focus on the report part and none on the workspace, add a colleague, things like that. So this is how we want to build. So then, what we learned with our MVP. First, we tried to make our MVP a different way, because we thought that we had to query all the information from Google Search Console, all the keyword from there, or use a third party like SpyFu to get all your keyword, and then use this keyword, saying like, if people type this keyword to find your website on Google, maybe they will do the same on Perplexity or on ChatGPT, and this is the case. They type this keyword, but we find out that they are not working the same way as Google, the LLMs, because, for example, your HR software. And as a HR software, you want to make informational content for your SEO, for your blog. And you write an article about the list of HR exhibition in 2025. This is a really great piece of content, because people will try to find a HR exhibition, and maybe 10% of people will then see, oh, okay, who is writing this article? Oh, this is interesting. They are doing this stuff, this stuff, this stuff. But now with LLMs, this is not true, because people will write their question to an LLM, and then the LLM will answer. You don't need to go in any third-party website to have the information. So this is really important, because you need to understand that this type of content you made, so informational content, are no longer very relevant for your website, because people won't go to your website for this informational content. The second thing is that, okay, you have like website that does only this, so informational content, and they are paid with the ad network. But if nobody goes on their website to find the information, they don't get paid. So what will happen? Or is there another network, GPT? Because GPT and all Perplexity, etc., they use website as a source, but they don't pay them. They don't earn any money if they are mentioned. So they give an information for free for LLMs to be interesting. So maybe there are an ad network, and this ad network on GPT will give uh, any sense to every source he mentioned to give this information, but I don't know how this would work, but this can be interesting. But yeah, in 5 or 10 years, this will have a huge impact on the industry, because people search less and less on Google and they want to have the information right away. And even if they search on Google with Gemini right now, directly the answer. So if you make a query, for example, if I want to check the best electric car, before I had to go on whatcar.com, on Top Gear, on carandriver.com. So for example, whatcar.com is like really only a website where people like Darren Moss write about electric cars, and they earn some money with affiliation, etc. Or ads. And here I don't have any ads. If I check the uBlock, so I block, there are ads here. And then I have Gemini that give me all the information I want. I have, okay, this one, this one, this one. So I don't need to go on any website to find information. So this leads us to say, okay, we cannot take the keyword from the Google Search Console, so what to do instead? And instead, we have to find which prompt people will use. And to find which prompt people will use, we ask LLMs to make a good distribution about which prompt will be used to find this website. We try to focus on a theory of the buyer journey, that any buyer will be in 3 steps before buying. They will first be in the awareness step, then in the consideration step, then in the decision step. So for the buyer journey, for example, for electric car, Ron has his car, and the car is loud, use a lot of gas, cost a lot. And so we just find a friend of him that has an electric car and say, okay, nice, that's pretty great, and this could solve my problem. He sees that maybe it can solve his problem. So then, after the awareness phase, he goes in the consideration phase. So we will search a lot about electric cars, about the different brands that exist, Tesla, Hyundai, Xiaomi, etc. After that, he knows that, okay, there are a lot of different brands. An electric car can be this, this, this. Is it better to have this option, this option, this option? Then you go in the decision part. So at the end of the decision part, you know that you want this car. And so for the decision part, you will try to find some comparison. Difference between a Tesla and a Hyundai. And then when you want, I don't know, Tesla, you say, okay, I want a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. Because of this, and at the end you say, okay, I will buy a Tesla Model 3 in blue with this option, this option, this option. So this is the decision part, and we try to make all our prompts in this buyer journey to have a full description of what a brand will look like on LLMs. This is it for this episode. Thank you for watching. You can find our first episode on how we build our blog with Notion. We will put a video 2 times a week, so you can follow our progress until we get any dollar from our clients.